Reawakening. Welcome to episode 2 of Reawakening with dream interpreter and spiritual life coach, Yvonne Reba. This is your host, Chris Mann. Thanks for joining us on this new spin-off podcast from my 2011 to 2013 podcast, Reimagine That. As you'll recall, Yvonne had a dream analyst segment on my show, and it was so much fun and so popular that we've decided to do her own show, hence Reawakening. This week we explore in-depth symbolism in dreams, even in simple, short dreams, and how these symbols can inform and inspire your own life's path if you just pay a little bit of attention. Yvonne is here to help you on this journey of understanding your dreams and understanding how to apply them to your waking life. Many years before Yvonne became a life coach and dream interpreter, she was documenting and analyzing her own dreams to find inspiration and messages from what she calls her higher self, her spiritual self. So it's interesting to hear how she learned from her own dreams how to navigate the sometimes rough waters of her own life during particularly challenging times so that one day she could inform, encourage, and empower others by what she had learned. So check out more about Yvonne on her website, YvonneReba.com, YvonneRyba.com. And sit back for a few minutes while we check in once more with Yvonne. Hi there, Yvonne. How are you doing?
Oh, hi, Chris. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well, it's great to be reconnecting with you again here for Reawakening. You got a good dream for us?
Yes, I have. I think I've got a really special dream because it was very special to me.
Great.
First of all, I'm going to tell you that this dream was at a time in my life when things were not going very well. And my husband and I were having a very difficult time with lack of work, finding a place to live. Everything was difficult, and his health was not good.
Oh.
He'd had a near-death event where he'd been rushed to hospital and managed to come through it okay. So it was a pretty turbulent time.
Gosh.
And in my dream, I am on a ship. And this ship is totally metal, and it looked like one of those old wartime destroyers or an aircraft carrier even. Everything was battened down. There was nobody else on the deck.
So it wasn't the Love Boat.
It wasn't the Love Boat. They were all cruising around with champagne glasses and things. So this was a very choppy ocean for a start. The sea was grey and the waves were quite high, and I was the only person on deck looking over the railing. You know, they have those like 3 railing things.
Yes.
And I'm looking over the ocean and thinking, boy, that doesn't look very good. That looks dangerous. If a big wave came over this deck, it would sweep me over the side.
Right.
And of course, thinking that, no sooner had I thought that, 2 things happened. One, I left my body in the dream. I was immediately propelled upwards, and I was like an invisible force, if you like, looking down on this scene of this little figure leaning over the end of this railing, and a big wave came and just washed the figure into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And I was above there looking horrified and thinking, I wonder what's going to happen to that body, because I felt like the spiritual part of me was out watching what was going on.
So you had your own out-of-body experience in your
Absolutely,
dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a dream, for heaven's sake. And then the body parts flashing around, drowning in the water. And above me, above me, mind you, right? Above me, a voice said, very calm voice. And then at the same time as the voice spoke, it's just like being in a movie, okay, Chris? Everything's happening quickly.
Mm-hmm.
As the voice started to speak, from the ship, there came this cord. It's like a very thick rope, if you like, but it was very flexible. And it was whipping around like a bungee cord type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it came thrashing out of the side of the ship and into the water and grabbed hold of the figure thrashing around, drowning.
Your body.
Yeah, my body. And the voice above me said, as long as the cord is unbroken, you will always be safe.
Oh.
So, of course,
Wow.
then the figure got pulled back, just like an elastic band snapping, onto the deck, and I was safe. The figure was safe, and I was safe. And then I woke up.
So you, in essence, your body was retrieved and you kind of went back into your body then, in the dream?
Yes, although I woke up at that point, so I didn't get back into my body, but I knew I was safe.
You knew you were safe.
It was like the voice said, as long as the cord isn't broken, you will always be safe. And that was it. I was like, oh, I'm happy. I'm okay. I'm safe. So when I looked at how this dream, what it meant, I realized that the universal symbols that everybody has, we all dream of the ocean at some point. And the ocean usually always means for everybody life as we know it at that point. And for me, the ocean was gray and choppy and pretty dangerous looking. And that's how life was at that time. It wasn't very pleasant. It was unhappy, and it was difficult. And it was scary.
Yeah.
I was in danger of being overwhelmed by events, but my husband nearly dying and lacking, financial help and all that kind of thing.
Wow.
So I looked at it and I thought, okay, that's the ocean. The ship, which was very safe, I never felt the ship was in any danger. The ship which I was on was completely made of metal, was battened down inside. Whoever was in there, all of the crew and whoever else was in there was safe. And I was being transported by this ship on my journey of life, if you like. And as long as I was on it, I was safe. Now, we know that the ship is also a universal symbol for our emotional self. Okay. Riding the waves. The cord was my spiritual connection. We all have this, all right? Everybody has this cord, if you like. And people who have said they have done astral traveling, they've gone out of their body and gone somewhere else, they've talked about this cord.
Shirley MacLaine.
Yes,
Out on a limb.
Right. Out on a limb. She's one. I mean, I have read lots of people who have talked about this, but yes, she is a very famous person for this.
Yeah.
I think that this was reminding me that I have always, even if I don't realize it, this solid connection between my physical presence on this planet and my spiritual self, which will continue on.
Wow.
When my body goes, the spirit doesn't go. The spirit continues on, and that I will always be safe. As long as the cord is unbroken, you will always be safe. And, of course, the cord is always with you.
That's great.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. And it gave me a great deal of hope when I woke up. And I was depressed beforehand, which was the gray and choppy ocean, that's depression.
Sure.
And I thought, wow, it's going to be okay. My spiritual self is saying, have you forgotten that you just have to have faith and that this will get you where you want to be? You will get through this. And we did. We did get through it. It was amazing.
So the dream was just a little reminder of that connection, that you are more than your physical life, in essence.
Exactly.
And you had said that the ship represents your emotional self. So what do you make then of the type of ship? It sounds like a very solid, sturdy, secure ship, but you were out near the railing. Does that mean you were having some emotional insecurity?
Oh, yes. If the ship is my emotional self, it was a very armored kind of a thing, and I was protecting myself. But yes, I was out there feeling very vulnerable, open to the elements. And really, when I think about it, I was thinking, what am I doing leaning over this railing? It's dangerous. Look at these waves. I could get swept overboard. And of course, I did.
Teetering on the edge. But you were quickly reminded of the spiritual connection. So a very spiritual dream. Another thing I think is interesting is it's very short, but clearly potent. Sometimes people think if they don't have these long, drawn-out mini-series of a dream, that it's not worth remembering. But clearly you woke up, you realized it was important, you noted it in your diary, and it helped instruct your life at that time.
Absolutely. It's a dream I have never forgotten. I don't have to look it up. Some dreams I think, what was that dream again? I know a little bit of it, but I can't remember the rest. And I look through my journals. But this one, never have I ever forgotten this dream. And it has been, oh my goodness, probably 15 to 20 years since I had it.
So potent. And one other little thing I want to ask you about. When you have a dream where words are spoken to you, or even sometimes you speak the words, but you wake up and you remember the dialogue, you remember the line.
Yeah.
That's important. So that voice that you heard as your higher self, clearly it was important enough for you to remember the exact wording when you woke up. So pay attention to that.
Yes, that's very important. It's important to write things down because you will forget. But this was a very clear, vision-like kind of dream. And I think the voice above me, I put that down as God, you know.
Okay.
God, the spirit, source of everything, creator of the universe, you know, that incredible infinite power that we call God that is impossible to really explain.
Sure.
You know, as a human being, we are limited. God is unlimited.
That's right.
But I got that feeling. It was reminding me. It was saying, you know, you were forgetting something here. I mean, that's not what it said, but that was how I took it when I woke up. Yes, that was a reminder. I should know better than to lose hope. I just need to keep my focus and faith, and it will work out. And it did.
Wonderful.
It's a good thing to get a shot in the arm sometimes of spiritual pep-up talk or whatever you want to call it.
So you are a spiritual life coach, but also people can get some coaching, I guess, from their own subconscious.
Oh, yeah.
These things can inform and inspire and instruct your life if you pay attention, notate them, and then do a little research about the meanings of things.
Absolutely, Chris. And it's interesting to realize that when you start to pay attention, you will have more dreams and you will remember them. You might not remember every single one, but you will start to remember them. And it's giving your subconscious the message that, look, I'm taking it seriously.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's okay. I will remember these. So then the subconscious will give you more dreams. But a lot of us dream and never remember them because we get interrupted, you know, things happen. It happens to all of us.
Sure.
You know, the phone might ring and the dream floats away, or the cat will come in, or the dog barks, whatever it is. But if you can hang on to a piece of the dream, often you can get the whole of it. Just write the piece down and the rest of it might come back too. It's tough to do, but once you start, it gets better.
Always intriguing and engaging, your segments, and now your own show, Reawakening. And I look forward to what's next.
Yes, me too. Well, it's always great to talk to you, Chris. It's a lot of fun.
Take care, and we'll reconnect in a few weeks.
Thank you. Talk to you then, dear. Bye-bye.
Reawakening with Chris Mann and Yvonne Reba is a Rising Action Media production. Copyright 2014 by Chris Mann.